Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And it seems that Google is, well, very far left. Wow, this is a surprise. I couldn't possibly imagine that Google was a very far left company. But it goes a lot deeper. It has a lot of stuff to do the anti-white and all their other nefarious things to where they could be actually rigging the election. Which is, we're not supposed to say that here on YouTube, because, that could be conspiracy theories, which they used against me and shut down my profile, my account for 2 weeks, because, speaking about the whole, I don't know, the Amazon and the type of stuff trying to shut down the Sounds of Freedom type stuff, because, that's kind of what they were doing at first, but, I digress, YouTube. Please don't ban my account because you think I'm doing conspiracy theories, even though it's right there on the channel. I already know it's your AI bots doing this because none of you are actually taking the time to look through my actual channel and view it. So, there's also that. So, without further ado, we have this here from AllSides. It says, Google News bias has gotten more pronounced since 2022. 63% of articles came from media outlets AllSides rates as lean left or left, just 6% from the right. Thread. AllSides media bias ratings of top sources curated on Google News homepage. So we have 63% on the left, 16% on the center, 6% on the right, and 15% not rated. Continues here. In 2023, Google News mostly curated articles from CNN, lean left bias, and New York Times, lean left over a 2-week period. Just 6% of all articles came from outlets on the right, with the most created conservative source being Fox News, right, which made up 5%. So CNN was 16%, the New York Times was 12%, Reuters was 6%, and Fox News were 5%, and all the others are 4 and 5%, with the outside of the others being 2%. So as you can see here, it's just incredibly biased on this part. We have again here, AllSides also analyzed Google News in 2022. While Google curated 13% less left-rated outlets in 2023, it's curated 16% more lean-left outlets. The share of right-rated outlets increased very slightly by 3%. Their overall bias was still leaning left. So, yeah, regardless, it went down a little bit, but not by much at all. For search terms like abortion and election, results were also mostly from lean left outlets. Outlets on the right never accounted for more than 12% of results, except for the term Biden. So we have this here. And again, back in the days leading up to 2022 midterms, AllSides found the search term election returned to no Google News results from center, lean right, or right-rated outlets. AllSides have analyzed the bias of multiple news aggregators and found most of them lean left. Just because news is aggregated from various sources does not mean you are getting a full picture. View the full-size analysis of Google News here, and all this great stuff. The AllSides News aggregator bias chart shows most aggregators lean left, so we're going to go further into this as well. So we have this here from the counter signal. 60% of Google's news content has left-wing bias, report shows, and goes down to here as it goes down to here with here. Has Google News bias moved further left 2022 and 2023 compared? And it says the latest AllSides Google News analysis has found 63% of articles that appeared on news aggregator over a 2-week period were from media outlets on the left. So we have all this here. We're not going to go exactly what this here is because we run over this. So we're only going to go with the aggregators. So in AllSides 2022 Google News bias analysis, 17% of outlets on the homepage were left-rated. 44% were lean left-rated, and 25% were center-rated, 3% were right-rated, and 11% were not rated. Compared to 2023, there was about a 10% decrease in left-rated outlets, and a 16% increase in left-wing left-rated outlets, plus 2% overall on the left. There was a 10% decrease in center-rated outlets, and there was a 1% increase in left-leaning right-rated outlets, and a 2% increase in right-rated outlets, 3% overall on the right. There was a 5% increase in outlets not rated by AllSides from 2022 to 2023. Both right-rated outlets and left-rated outlets increased almost in equal measure. while similar outlets decreased, leading to a mostly consistent left-leaning bias on the part of Google News. Bias in news aggregators. AllSides have found a similar pattern among other news aggregation services, including Bing News, Apple News, Newsbreak, and Yahoo News, all which favor outlets on the left. Just because the news is aggregated from sources does not mean you are getting the full picture of all different perspectives. AllSides media bias ratings reflect the average judgment of all Americans, not just a panel of insiders. Ratings are driven by a balance of input from experts and ordinary people across the political spectrum to reveal the average judgment of Americans. Yeah. So, again, this is the reason why I don't like really using a lot of these, which I actually don't use a lot of these, especially Yahoo News. So, it's very odd that this is what's going on here. And this is what the issues that we have, right? That if we have media that is only talking on one side of things, or, being very biased in the reporting, it's going to make people think differently. Whereas some people think like Trump is the evil type of guy, when in reality he's not really all that bad compared to numerous of other people. Now, can we say that Trump cannot be the best, or can we criticize some of his stuff? Of course. And that's all fine and dandy. But when we go into the actual insanity of it all, you start seeing that the left, the media, is lying about him a whole bunch here. We have this here from Sean McGuire. Should I go public with the story about the time I was told I can't be promoted for being a white man? And Elon Musk says this is incredibly widespread in recent years. Couldn't agree more. And that is something that I also see. I still haven't done the report on from Kevin O'Keefe, James O'Keefe, from doing when they were going through about this whole white thing on that spectrum. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I still have to go on to James O'Keefe as well that's talking about this stuff, and I haven't had the time to go around to do it because there's so much news that I'm trying to get out here as well, along with the Tiffany A. Haynard super corrupt mayor saga, so that is also ongoing there. We have this with Sean McGuire as well, saying, since posting this, I've already had 2 ex-Google friends message me with similar stories and screenshots and evidence. And he says here, he says, fuck it, this happened at Google. That company is an absolute trash can dumpster fire. And I agree. He's up to 5. And again, Elon Musk says very common. Ongoing with this as well, he replying to the one that I previously just read. It says, I'm not really supposed to tell you this, it could get me fired. But you're one of the highest performing people here, but I can't promote you right now because I have a quota. My friends are tied. You'll get the next slot. Please be patient. I'm really sorry. So, he says, Elon Musk says, I've heard this many times. We have to start telling these stories. And this was in 2019. Yes, a lot of these things that we're hearing or seeing here is what's going on. So we have this here as well. We're going to talk about a little bit of this because this is talk about the AllSides. Now, I didn't talk about too much about this at first when I first showing it to you guys because it was pretty much from AllSides, and I want you guys to get the AllSides article first before I went into this article, including with the Sean McGuire, because obviously the whole white thing is probably the biggest thing that's happening in news today. AllSides media analyzed 974 articles between October and November of last year, which included 494 articles from Google's homepage and 480 articles from Google's search engine. The report concluded that as many as suspected all along, Google's news has a lean left bias. The top media outlets found from the 494 articles analyzed were CNN, the New York Times, Reuters, Fox News, and Yahoo News. AllSides reported that the bias has increased by 2% since 2022, when left-leaning content accumulated 61% of Google's news content. It also showed that the right-wing outlets accounted for 6% of the news sources shown in 2023 on Google. So, Pacific charts were analyzed by AllSides, such as abortion and all this other stuff, so which you guys have heard. And Trudeau concerned over misinformation. On Wednesday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau appeared on Ryan Jesperson's Real Talk broadcast while lamenting over social media, where he said there has been deliberate undermining mainstream media. He claimed individuals continue to spread misinformation on social media, steering others away from truth and science. And he said he's continuing to help Canadians understand the importance of not being fooled by misinformation and to develop their own critical skills. Trudeau has also showed irritation with Facebook for not allowing the Canadian government to control their content while stating they are choosing to be bad guys about this. Yeah, so again, obviously Justin Trudeau is authoritarian. This is not really too surprising here. And they are wanting to control the media and do all this stuff. So we're seeing that Google is obviously, most likely, somewhere or another, doing something with the elections. We don't know exactly what it could be, but it's being apparently obvious on what's really going on here, because it's insane to have this be going on. So we'll see what happens with Google. At least the cat is out of the bag now. We'll have more information coming on from, I'm assuming, from Sean McGuire and Elon Musk, because it seemed to be on the nose on all this stuff, essentially with the Gemini AI, which has gone completely rogue, which we'll talk about that this week as well. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.